My name is Raul Montes Jr. and I'm a civic activist in Chicago. R-A-U-L, last name is M-O-N-T-E-S, Jr. is a suffix. I want to say a few words while we're here to address a challenging concern in the Rogers Park area. 2 years ago, today on this date, September 30th, 2018, 73-year-old Douglas Watts was walking his two dogs on this same block, 1400 West Sherwin, around 10 a.m. when he was shot point blank execution style. According to authorities, robbery was not the motive. The next evening, within 36 hours, just a few blocks away from here on the 1100 West of Lunch Street, on October 1st, 2018, 24-year-old Raul Moskowitz was shot in the head at point blank, execution style also. A local pastor found him lying in blood. Ballistics show it was a .40 caliber pistol that was involved in these two shootings. Remember, when Mr. Moskowitz was murdered, it was on Simchat Torah, which is pretty much a Jewish holiday. The next morning, Chicago Police Superintendent Andy Johnson confirmed the shell casings were a match in both shootings that resulted in 2 homicides. There was video in the first shooting with Mr. Watts where the perpetrator was dressed, clad head to toe in black. The area was then swarmed with police as a tactic with efforts to catch the killer before he attacked again. The way the perpetrator walked with his unique style was the name they described him as a duck walk killer. Since the shootings, this area has been shaken, in panic, petrified, and very, very confused. 2 weeks later, on October 15, 2018, approximately 10.3 miles away on the 4300 block of 5th Avenue, 2 men ages 23 and 27 were shot while riding in an Infiniti SUV in the Lawndale area around 11:45 p.m. at night. The gunfire came from an occupant in a passing vehicle. These both drove themselves to a hospital with bullets in them in their vehicles and on them. Subsequently, 5 months later, on March 28, 2019, on the 2300 block of West Jackson Boulevard, gunshots were fired at 3 security employees at a residential complex on the near west side. It seems to me that this gun was used in multiple shootings. My understanding is were the first 2 shootings a hate crime. One was a gay man, the other was a Jewish man, Jewish Orthodox. I believe these were both white males, and both of them had their belongings on them. What was the motive here? I'm saying, what was the motive? That's what I asked the police. There were 40 Chicago police detectives on this case at one time. On this case, we also had the FBI, the ATF, all involved. They all intervened on these 2 murder cases, and they're still unsolved. After 2 years, this is totally unfathomable. Where are the leads in this case? Was this killer in the military? How was he trained so well to get away? I called the police about these crimes because I was given a lead. Somebody told me he worked at the Food for Less in Evanston. I've never gotten called back by the police. I mean, that's the lead that somebody called me a while back. This area of Rogers Park and the families of these victims want closure and they want justice. They want this solved already. What are we going to wait for this guy to come out and kill somebody else again? Today, we're here once again. We're asking for Chicago police detectives and other law enforcement agencies, including ATF and the FBI, to revisit this case. We also would like to see our president, Donald Trump, intervene to send resources to help with these whole cases. Today, we are here in solidarity once again. We are offering a $5,000 reward to add to the $150,000 reward in this case, which is the highest in Chicago history. So we're here trying to revisit this case, and we want this perpetrator captured. I mean, this gun's still out on the street somewhere. I mean, what are we going to wait for another killing? So that's why we're here. And we want, once again, we want this case solved once and for all. Bring closure, not only to the victims, their families, and also this community of Rogers Park that they don't understand how come it's not solved. So that's why we're here today. Any questions?
Raul, you mentioned the fact that at one time there was a massive amount of resources allocated to this investigation. You clearly feel that that's, gone away and that maybe we need to bring that back. Talk to me about what you would like to see in terms of revisiting this and not letting it just become another cold case.
Yes, without a doubt. I think that we spend money on other things. I mean, this is something that needs needs extra attention again. We need to revisit this. Yes, we need the mayor. We need all branches of government to allocate resources to this case because that's innocent people murdered. One on this block here, in the same spot in this area, and one on Love Avenue. And I think that we need resources allocated again to try to reopen this case because we haven't heard anything. People are asking, where's this case going? What are the leads? Nobody says nothing. It's like gone. It's like another cold case. I mean, you can see Chicago has over 500 murders. The carnage continues. We just had, a week ago, a 17-year-old shot in West Rogers Park was killed. And we had a man on the red line who was also murdered. So it continues in this area. And I think that we want resources allocated to these two cold cases, definitely. Any other questions for somebody else speaks? I was nice enough to I called the county state's attorney's office. He didn't answer, but I also called Mr. Pat O'Brien. He was nice enough to come out and maybe you might say a few words. Mr. Pat O'Brien.
Thank you. And something that I want to say is that there have been too many unsolved murder cases, both in Chicago and in the suburbs, in the last 3 or 4 years. Last year alone, murders that were solved numbered 108 or 109, depending upon who you talk to. It's only 21 or 22% of the total number of 490 homicides. There are some things that the state's attorney's office can do that the police cannot. There should be special grand juries assembled, and the cases where there are open homicides, there should be assistant state's attorneys assigned to those cases. They should use subpoena power, and they should get witnesses before the grand jury. Some of this information has to be saved in a way that can be used later. And in some instances, the grand jury can actually make and solve cases. As I understand from the deaths of Mr. Watts and Mr. Moskowitz, there are 2 other shootings that are at least connected to that. And in addition to that, and in other locations, there is a gun that they believe is connected to all 4 shootings, which is found not in Chicago, but in New York. The fact that we have such a wide geographical area, it seems to me that the information from all of those places and shootings has to be in front of one grand jury handled by a team of prosecutors who can put the case together. This may be a situation where if there was better communication, more use of subpoena power in grand jury, we could solve some of these unsolved homicides. Just to let the cases and the families not get a resolution seems like a problem that can be addressed. But it takes a commitment by the state attorney to do this. And if there's no attempt to use those resources and tools that only the state attorney has, I think we're all at a loss. Thank you.
Mr. O'Brien, what is your title?
At this time, I'm a candidate for state's attorney with the Cook County State's Attorney's Office and actually up for election on November 3rd and early voting right now.
Have you held previous offices?
I've been a prosecutor for 18 years, 13 years in the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, and for 4 of those years heading up the criminal division, which have numbered somewhere over 700 attorneys. I've been in private practice as a criminal defense attorney, and I've been a judge for 8 years, both in criminal and civil court. I think it's time that we had someone with that kind of well-rounded experience bring that experience and try to address these open, unsolved cases. You can't be a bystander as the state's attorney. You've got to be an active participant working with the police and authorities to solve cases. You just can't stand by and say it's the police problem. It is all of our problems. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Bill Morton, part of the Rogers Park Human Commerce. Mr. Bill Morton.
Hello, I'm Bill Morton. I'm president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, 20-year resident of Rogers Park, Billmorton. It's a 2-year anniversary, and we haven't seen any leads. We haven't gotten any updates. The families want closure. We're here at 1400 West Sherwin Avenue, and it's just a couple blocks from where our chamber office used to be. It's just a block from where I used to live at Sherwin-on-the-Lake. And there are so many neighbors here that need answers. So many acts of violence happen in our neighborhood, in our community, and we need a proactive solution. We attend the CAPS meetings as much as we can, less now because of the coronavirus, but we attend the CAPS meetings at least once a month, and the police won't give us an update because it's an ongoing case. I would like to see some progress in this case. I would like to see our local officials take more action and give a statement on this case. Our former alderman told us in a meeting, I don't know if it's true or not, but he said this, that he said that they had the guy, but he had an ironclad alibi, end quote. I don't even know what that means. We need more solid information to bring closure to not only the two families of Eliyahu and Douglas, but to our community as a whole. We've been suffering the whole time with this, and people are still walking around looking behind their back, and I've never had to do that before in this neighborhood. Thank you very much. Any questions?
One last thing I want to area.
I want to make a few words as well.
Halloween is coming. What if this stuff walk killer strikes again? I mean, a lot of people are concerned for the children. They're worried if they're walking their dogs. This killer's still on the loose. We need this case revisited and reopened once again to catch this killer and bring closure to the families and the residents. Thank you.
I want to include something too. Yes. May I come up to the podium?
Oh.
So you're the head of the Chamber of Commerce?
I'm a founding member and president for 11
Let me get a background. Do you feel comfortable without the mask for the interview?
I can do without the mask thing, but I'd like to be seen taking off the mask.
Sure. Whatever you feel comfortable.
Do I hold the mic or you hold it?
No, I hold it. So, Bill, let me have you tell me your name first and last.
My name is Bill Morton, Billmorton. I'm the president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce and a 20-year resident of the neighborhood.
So you were telling me about, obviously, you've been to the CAPS meetings, and all of this. Tell me about, just the concerns that have been expressed and what you've been told about why 2 years later we're still, don't have this front solved.
Well, we're getting very little information. So we attend the monthly CAPS meetings. We get pretty much no updates because they say it's an ongoing investigation. Back when we had our former alderman, Alderman Joe Moore, he said we almost had him, but he had an ironclad alibi, whatever that means. That doesn't make any sense at all. So that's not a real update. And with our current alderwoman, Maria Haddon, I haven't seen many updates. on this particular issue, and very little on the violence in Rogers Park in 49th Ward.
Right, and I know that it's been a very frustrating issue for everyone who's been doing it simply because of the nature of these crimes. It just made it particularly terrifying.
Yes.
So the fact that you still don't know, like you said, it still has people second guessing themselves.
The people in our community are second guessing themselves. I've never had to look over my shoulder to see if I hear some footsteps behind me. I've always been very confident, and I've always felt very safe in the neighborhood. Although we've had a violence problem for a very long time, this Rogers Park killer is something different. It's very random. I don't know, but I don't think it was gang related. And so it could happen at any time. It happened in the morning. It happened a day or two apart. It happened a couple blocks from each other. And in between then, there was another sighting of him down by the beach. And fortunately, the person who saw him didn't realize or got away without an incident.
What has it been like for people here to, go about their lives knowing that he's still out there?
Well, it puts us on edge, and it lets us know that we always have to be vigilant. We have to be very careful and cautious in our community of Rogers Park. This is a citywide issue, but this one is our issue, and we don't know if he's still here, if he's gone. We have no information about what's going on. We haven't gotten the updates, and it's scary.
Yeah, that alone just makes it particularly terrifying. Yeah. Okay. Anything that you would like to add, Bill?
Well, our office was right down the street on Sheridan, very close to, next to Leong Beach Park, close to Loyola Park, where Eliyahu got murdered. And so, and when we were there, we heard a lot of gunshots going on. We recently had violence on the Morse Red Line station just recently. And sadly, this is not uncommon, and nobody's surprised anymore. And that's just wrong. We need to be proactive and find some solutions to change this in our community, in our city.
Thank you so much.
Well, could I add a little bit of something?
I actually have one more thing.
Yeah.
I've got one more thing. Oh, unless we're done.
I mean, I have what I need. But if there's
Okay.
something that
Well,
you'd like to
there's
add.
one thing that I noticed being the chamber president. I went to all the businesses, and a business on Jarvis had their along the path of the Rogers Park killer. It's on a tape, and it records over itself after 24 hours, and the police didn't get in on time, and that was really an issue of concern because I'm connected to all of our local businesses. I represent the businesses, residents, and organizations I'm
Right.
with. And when I did my little investigation at the chamber, I found that there was a lot of evidence that wasn't utilized.
Right.
And that's just it.
It is.
And we need to find a better solution for that.
Bill, may I ask you for something? Get your contact info if you don't mind for future, because I always have issues with finding people to speak for Rogers Park. So,
I'd love to.
Bill Morton at my Commerce. And then your number is
708. I'm sorry, 773 850 0049. And you'll reach either Trudy or myself, but easy to get in touch with us.
Thank you. I really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. Thank you so much.
All I wanted to add was that Bill is always trying to keep me safe because before he wasn't as worried. Now he's always directing me like, don't go there, don't go such a place. And if you go such a place, how do you keep yourself safe? He's always trying to make sure that I am safe.
That's good.
Got to take care of her.
Well, these days, yeah, for sure, absolutely.
But everybody's thinking that way nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the neighborhood has definitely seen an increase over the last couple of years, and it's not just this, it's like you said, some of the
You know, I could tell you, I heard from one of the families that there was a little bit of a breakup with a lot of stress involved, a lot of bad things that came from the stress. You know, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's just very sad. Unfortunately, these are the things that happen when families are grieving.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to come on out.
No,
And,
thank you. I appreciate
we'll
it.
be watching, and if you got anything for us, it's a call or text, and I'll come on out.
Yeah, I definitely will. Thank you so much.
Again.
Thank you.
Thank you.